We are at the Andy Warhol show called Revelation. It is being held at the Brooklyn Museum. And this show explores the relationship between his art and the Catholic Church and the influence his Christianity had on his artwork. He was a Byzantine Catholic. And we are about to go inside and check out the show. You guys ready? Here's a little biography. Let's go inside and check it out. We have some sketches here of Madonna and Child. And this looks like it's going to be a cool show. We got some Christian imagery right away as we go in. And we can see that Baroque gold there and the influence that I guess it had on his artwork as he elevated certain celebrities or public figures to sainthood. And this is his immigrant roots and religion. He was brought up in Pittsburgh in a Catholic neighborhood. And look at that Baroque gold there. It looks like the solid gold that he would use in a lot of his works. And this looks like from his household, his birth certificate, communion, and all that kind of baptism. And it looks like, was that a picture of his mom? And maybe paraphernalia from around his house. Oh, here's a cool picture. Got the cross over the mirror with his friends there. And there is Christ on the cross. And we have a little Marilyn Monroe. A little bit of maybe a Madonna, or maybe elevating her to sainthood. Or even reminiscent of the Shroud of Turin. And especially right here, the Jackie Kennedy in mourning after the assassination of President Kennedy, and she is being elevated here to a sainthood, right, with the shawl over her head and covering her face. Oh, this is terrific. Fantastic. All right, so let's backtrack a little bit. How did I get here? I had a short day at work today, and I made it over here. Let's check out the front of the building. Where are we? The beautiful Brooklyn Museum here, and you see the Andy Warhol banner. Right, what a great looking building. Alright, I got out of work early today, and I was going to go head over to the Brooklyn Museum. They have a cool Andy Warhol exhibit called Revelation. It's about his association and influence on the Catholic Church, and it was a big deal for him to meet the Pope. And a lot of people don't know he went to church every week, right? So a lot of his stuff is influenced by Catholicism. So I was going to go check it out. Wait a minute, are you already in there? Am I behind on this? Are you already inside? All right, Warhol really brings them in here. There's a nice crowd in here. And each section has a little synopsis of all the different ideas and the concepts that he went through and that blended his work with Catholicism. And I'm going to walk through here. I'll try to capture a lot of the spirit of the show here. This is the Renaissance spirit, which is a bit of Andy Warhol. He was a painter, he was a printmaker, he was a draftsman, he was in advertising, he was a filmmaker. So he was a bit of a Renaissance man, jumping into all different crafts, and he knew about money, right? He knew how to make money, that's for sure. And here we have the modern Madonnas, and here's Candy Darling, right? That Candy came from Miami, FLA, a great Lou Reed song, right? And then we have the actress who shot Andy Warhol, Valerie Solanas. I don't know why they would put her in here. I guess it's a major part of his history, so they included it. She looks like Mo Tucker a little bit, right? A little bit there. The Society for Cutting Up Men, that's her manifesto right there. It had a membership of 1. And there is her screenplay there that she was trying to Andy to turn into a movie. And speaking of the Renaissance, we have Leonardo da Vinci here. with his Mona Lisa, and it looks like he did a triptych of it, or a, what do we got here? Here we got 15 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 Mona Lisas. And the silk screen, when it was dripping with paint, or when you would use it over and over again, it would never be the same. So even though the images are being replicated or duplicated, the next one was a little bit more diminished than the previous one. So the copies aren't all the same. Even though it looks like a... here's a little bit of the body. I think Richard Avedon had taken these photos. I guess Warhol was friends with him. And after Warhol got shot, he took pictures of his body. He pulled up his shirt to show the scars. Catholic body, he was now scarred like the Christ, or like Saint Sebastian with the scars from the arrows. And here are some, looks like some advertisements. And this is terrific, man. Here is some work with Basquiat that he did. And he put the Jesus screen prints on punching bags, which looks really terrific, and it seems to be a really good concept. And it looks like Basquiat ruined the concept. He did some kind of graffiti over it and wrote "Judge." He's over judging you, or I guess they would go back and forth in a fight mode. Warhol and Basquiat, when they would do works together, they would combat each other on the screen. But the Basquiat work seems to diminish the work there. I don't know. It looks kind of, the graffiti looks kind of takes down the concept a bit. There's sneakers with some designs on them, which is a common idea now. Sneakers with designs on them. Alright, and then we have some stuff with the Pope here, because Warhol actually went and met the Pope. I think he was invited out to go meet him. And I guess he visited the Last Supper? Because later he makes those famous print screens of Last Supper. Here is, what is it, lenticular? This is like a 90s comic book, right? You move back and forth and the image moves. The Last Supper print that he did, we're going to see it in a minute, but he didn't copy a print or a photo. He copied a cheap model of it. Was this Pope John Paul II? He was very popular. And there, oh, what a great shot. Warhol meeting the Pope. Terrific shot. And here's a bunch of paraphernalia with for a button, Pope John Paul II. And people are really crowding around this table. He still holds... That Pope is still so popular, and I guess these are crosses that he gave out. Look at that. I had a hard time getting over to this table. It was so crowded. People taking photos of all the imagery from the Pope. And these look like Christ-like portraits, but done in an advertising or a marketing way. Here's some of his movies. Warhol had done a lot of movies, right? That was in the 60s with Brakhage and Hollis Frampton and all the avant-garde filmmakers that were around in New York. Here it is right here. Here's the Last Supper screen prints. These things are enormous. Oh, this is really cool. And this is a great room here. He filled it with 2 of them. And they are facing each other. Well, actually, there's 4 of them, right? Because you got 2 next to each other, and then 2 on the other side. So there's 4. Lots of the show is in 4s. I'm assuming that's, like the 4 books of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. A lot of the religious stuff is in 4s, and it's very Rashomon-like. Like the New Testament is 4 perspectives of Christ, and screen prints are different perspectives, diminished. They're not all exactly the same, so somewhat of a concept or an idea. I don't know if he's following that or not, or if I'm reaching. Right, so even though the print screen does diminish, so even though there are duplicates, there's always something slightly off on the replica, the copy of them, which he liked. You know, like Warhol liked that idea. What a great room this is, right? And like I said before, this is not a silk screen of the original Last Supper. This is a cheap model that he had found, and he took a photo of it. Very cool, like a Last Supper in the modern era here. All right, let's go check out what else, because I think he also has. Here is some more pieces from the works. All right, like going through these synopses are all over the place. These scrolls. This is what number 6 transitions. So he's transitioning to another phase, the death. I think a gallery owner had told him he was celebrating life too much, doing celebrities and public figures and events in the modern world. He said, let's try to get a little serious here. Let's go into death a little bit. And then he started doing the skulls. We're back to that film room. This is called 4 Stars. And this is a sunset, right? He filmed the sun coming up, and then he did some photos on the sun. And there's a film at the end of this gallery here. Here are some more Christian ideas and concepts done in a marketing or advertising kind of way. Material world, what we worship. This is number 7 synopsis. So each section has an area where they're explaining the concept. Yeah, the gallery owner had told him to start dealing in death, try to get a little serious, and then he had this death phase where he did electric chairs. We got electric chairs, we have the skulls, we have the car crashes. I don't know if there's any car crashes here. Electric chairs or death penalty. Death penalty is very debated in the from a Christian point of view. Here are the 60s riots. And I love when he does these newspapers, and he keeps the ads in, like the ads on top of the title. These Heinz ketchup boxes are wooden boxes that he had painted, and then he silk screened over them, so they are not ready-mades. He considers these sculptures that he made. And someone told him just to paint money. See, paint something you know about, like write about what you know. A friend told him, once you paint money, you know about money. And he started painting money. Here's a gun he got into when he was shot. He started drawing, he went through a violence phase where he was drawing guns and knives. These look terrific. Here's another gun. I don't know if this is the gun that shot him. That might be it. That snub nose right there. All right, then we have some knives and some crosses. This is a cool show. This is a great idea to put this together. I didn't have time to go through the synopsis. Obviously, the show did it a lot better than I'm doing it, because this is just a quick overview, a gallery tour. But if you have a chance, go see this show, because then you can read the synopsis as much as they got into it. The curators here did a fantastic job of getting into each section. Here is some of his skull paintings again. Death, right? The great equalizer. We're all heading there. And these images are so iconic now, right? It's hard to think that these weren't popular at one point. And we're back to the beginning. Right? This is where we started off. Now let's head out the front here. Let's see, because I think on the other side, right? You can see it. You can see the influence. Let's see out the other side, because I think there's a film room here. They're showing a film. Let's see what they got here. It's Chelsea Girls. All right, cool. I've seen this. And Nico is in this. A bunch of people are in this, right? When I saw this, it was 2 projectors going simultaneously to give it a split screen look. And it's all the crazy people in the Chelsea Hotel. And they're each acting out different scenes in different rooms of the hotel. All right, so here's Nico right here. On the left, she's in color. And on the right, black and white, is Andy. And he is saying he's the Pope of Greenwich Village, and he wants to hear your confession. So his film even looks like a confessional booth with a priest on the right, and they're in the booth confessing their sins. The Christian influence even in his films, and then Andy drinks wine there like a priest. And on the left is Nico, and she's crying. I guess she's confessing her sins, going through a cathartic moment here, is the general symbolic or idea behind this. I don't know if it's the only meaning. There's multiple meanings, I guess, but one of them, it does look like a confessional. The priest on the right and the sinner on the left in the confessional booth, and we are watching them and hearing the confessions. And he declares that he is the Pope. You're in his confessional, and he's going to drink the wine. I think he drinks again. So 2 screens are playing simultaneously, so the action is doubled. And we are kind of used to it now. It just looks like split screen, but there's 2 projectors, 2 films going on at once. And then when the left film runs out, the projectionist has to come out and change the film. And then when the right one comes out, he's got to change the right one. So it keeps going on and off, on and off. Here's the gift shop. You don't want to miss that, right? All right, so let me know in the comments below if I missed anything. I tried to be quick and entertaining, and hope you guys enjoyed that. I will see you guys in my next video.